up, everybody? She's back, the beautiful and talented and intelligent doctor, Natalie.
Get it right.
So we are back for another episode. We're gonna talk about COVID and the second phase, possibly coming back because viruses do that shit. So come November, it might reemerge again. So what I find is that when we talk about coronavirus or viruses or diseases and stuff like that, we always talk about PPE, personal protective equipment, and what that's doing is protecting your body from introducing a virus to your system. But we never talk about what happens if you do get the virus.
Yep.
Right? We never talk about that. We
Taboo.
just right. We just talk about how to prevent it. Stay away from people. Wear your mask, wear gloves. But you might get it.
Yep.
So, the question is, what can we do to prepare our immune system in the event that we do get it to combat it?
I think the largest thing is already maintaining a picture of perfect health. And I know there's nothing as perfect out there, but the best that we can do is you eat right, you exercise, you get your vitamin D out in the sun, all the things that we know we should be doing, but that we don't do. But definitely if you get sick, I mean, aside from quarantining yourself, it's pretty much just you're kind of having to power through it. But if you are healthy already as yourself, you have a more higher chance of combating it in a safer way, meaning that you won't die or you won't end up on a ventilator. So it's very important that you already start now creating yourself to be as healthy as you can be, so that if you do get it, it'll just be like a mild cold, or how some people don't even have any symptoms, and then it comes and it goes and you're done.
I had looked up some of the factors for mortality, and it was obesity, age, and diabetes. So, I mean, age, you can't help that. With obesity, I know we don't like to talk about like you being able to prevent that, but you can. What would you suggest for somebody who is obese on how to lose weight?
I think the major thing is that all of us are lacking in America is knowledge of proper nutrition. There are so many certified dietitians, nutritionists, people that literally go to school for years to learn how to teach us how to eat. However, we also live in the information age. So it's easy to Google anything and to see, that there are different ways of eating healthy, not a fad diet. I know that there's the keto diet, there's intermittent fasting, there's low carb, high fat, whatever you want to do. The point is whatever works for you, you have to be consistent at. And it has to be what's healthy for your body, because at the end of the day, all our bodies are different. Everybody reacts differently. As long as what you're doing is healthy for you and it's maintaining your weight in a proper range, I say do it. But do it, with a good amount of knowledge. So I think the first step for anyone wanting to lose weight is knowledge.
Some people are good at, going for a jog or getting on their bike and stuff like that. But if you need help, I mean, there's plenty of CrossFit gyms, personal trainers, there's jujitsu. I mean, there are a million things you could be doing. And just like food, just like Natalie mentioned nutrition, exercise is the same way. For me, I don't like running. It's boring. I get super bored.
Me too.
I need a bike. I need the bike with cars on the road. Like, I need the excitement, or through the woods where there's branches and rocks. I need the excitement of it. You should just find something that suits you. But the thing is, you have to actively seek it, and you have to actively stick to it. That's the hardest part.
And if we want to get really deep, self-love is very key in getting your mind right to understand, I love myself enough to know, yes, I could eat this pizza, or I could wait till the end of the week when it's like my one day of cheat day. I can make it. You can do this. So yeah, consistency is key, but it's also okay to fall off the wagon, but just get back up. Don't stay off it.
Fact is, I'm chubby, and I'm chubby for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's not an accident. It's definitely my behavior, my attitudes towards things, the amount that I eat, the lack of exercise, and that's just the way it is. It. Would you agree that there's there's such a tiny percentage of people that have some type of disorder where they can't lose weight?
We're always taught in medical school, like, about the whole, excuse of the thyroid. That's not to say that the thyroid doesn't cause you to gain weight. Because, for example, my mother doesn't have a thyroid. She had thyroid cancer. It's been taken out. Um, she had it taken out maybe like in her 30s or 40s. She didn't gain weight, first of all, but I know everybody's different. Secondly, studies have shown that people who have thyroid issues, like hypothyroidism, because that's what it is, if you have hyperthyroidism, you would actually lose weight. You wouldn't gain weight.
I've seen people like that. They
And
have bug eyes, by the way.
yeah, they'll have bug eyes, kind of like Wendy Williams. Perfect
Yeah.
example.
Yep.
So hypothyroidism, studies have shown that at most it can cause about a 10 to 15, maybe even 20-pound weight gain. But when people say that they're 100 pounds, 150 pounds overweight from a thyroid, that's a no. That's a no. 1,000%.
In America, we have like this oversensitivity to talking about weight.
Yeah.
It's like the moment anybody mentions facts, it just is like, it's like a instant shutdown. Like, no, you're being judgmental, you're fat shaming and all this. It's like, no, I'm not. You shouldn't be ashamed of being fat, but I mean, you shouldn't be proud of being fat. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a weird dynamic. Like, it shouldn't be either. We should all be striving to be as healthy as possible. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being healthy.
And I want to say, like, because I know what's going to happen is usually when people hear what we're saying, they're going to go, well, what about, people who are overly skinny? So you should not be ashamed to be yourself, but it should be something for you to think about heavily if you're unhealthy. And that is anorexia
Right.
and obesity. There is a happy medium. Yes, you could be a little overweight.
But
and the doctor might get on you, but that's because they want to make sure you don't get to that point.
sure.
Or you could be a little underweight.
But I mean, the only reason that I don't mention anorexia is because we don't have the same defensiveness to anorexia. It's like we all understand anorexia is bad. But so I mean, it's not even worth mentioning.
That's usually what people who are
Right.
they don't want to be told that
Right.
they're obese will go, well, what about skinny people? Not all
Right.
skinny people are healthy. And then that creates another excuse, unfortunately, for why they don't lose weight.
Sure.
Because it's like, well, I don't want to be too skinny.
Well, you
It's
don't
like,
have to be
no
skinny.
one's saying for you to
Yeah.
be too skinny. No one's saying you have to be, a Kim Kardashian or a Kylie Jenner or whatever else you think of out there. You could be you, but it has to be you that's healthy.
Right.
And there's a healthy range for that.
I agree.
No one's saying you got to be, Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day when he was,
Well, I would argue that that's not healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Because
You
the
know what I'm
way he
saying?
got there wasn't healthy.
Right. You should always strive to be healthier. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is, I find that in America, even when I was looking up these stats, it's like I noticed that any website that was like outside the United States mentioned obesity as like the top thing, that the top factor in mortality for COVID. But within the United States, they mention everything peripheral to obesity. So they mention diabetes, they mention cholesterol, high cholesterol, they mention high blood pressure, like all these things. And it's almost as if they're avoiding even saying the word obesity, which I find really strange. It makes me think of like our culture, for instance. It's like we don't have that sensitivity. Latin culture, yeah. What other culture?
I mean, I don't know if it was like American culture or Latin culture.
Okay, true, fair enough.
Facts,
Yeah,
okay.
that is a weird dynamic, isn't it? We're
Yeah.
like we're a
We're in
part
the
of like
middle.
multiple cultures. Yeah, that is weird. Latinos are awesome, dude.
Right?
But
Hispanic Heritage Month. Woo-hoo.
yeah, whoop whoop. No, man, I find that like our culture's like super like the opposite of Americans when it comes to weight. It's like when I see my parents, like they're like, oye, está gordo. Like, y'all, it's like, wow, like, I haven't seen them in like a year. Like, as soon as I show up to Ecuador, it's like, oh, man, you're fat. And it's
Right
so,
in your face.
right, it's so common. And I've seen, like, people who are, like, skinny.
Yep.
And they'll be like, oh, yeah, man, you're ta flaco. You're skinny. Like, it's very matter of fact. There isn't a sensitivity. It's like it's so bizarre. Like it's so much accepted that like we have nicknames. Like the most common two nicknames for Latinos is flaco or gordo.
Yeah.
You know what or the feminine version of that. Like
Yeah.
it's like we just don't have that sensitivity. So like I feel like when I navigate in America um with issues about weight and stuff, I feel like I do the same shit sometimes. I'm very matter of fact. It's like, well, why don't you exercise more?
Yeah.
And like people get offended, but I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just like I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Like,
It's all
yeah,
love.
that's what you need to do. Like real
Yes.
shit. Like eat better. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I do think we're very sensitive, but I think a part of it, to me, is Americans often lack self responsibility. So it's very hard for someone to say, you've gained weight because you haven't been eating well and you haven't been exercising. And it's hard to just say, yeah, you're right. A lot of people struggle with that
Right.
because then they have to come to terms with the fact that they did this themselves. And I think that hurts even more to know I did this. So people seek out other things. Oh, it's this disease that made me gain weight, or
Right.
this person, made me because I had a
Right.
relationship breakup and now I
Right.
gained all this weight.
Trauma,
There's
childhood
all this
trauma, relationship
external
traumas,
thing.
yeah.
But I'm telling you, the biggest thing that ever happened to me that made me change my life was when my father told me, you have to be 100% honest with yourself. Because without that, you're not going to go anywhere in life. And and I used to be that person that I drank all the time. I ate the wrong things. I was gaining weight. I was doing nothing with my life. I was getting like evicted from apartments and it was just really bad.
And she's a doctor now.
And now, I turned it around because I was honest with myself that I was like, I created this environment for myself.
Yeah, man.
I'm not happy.
Dude, I feel you 100%, dude. Personally, for someone like me, it's like it's easier for me to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have broader shoulders. I work.
Is it though? No, I'm just kidding.
Damn! Ouch!
Knife in the heart.
Oh,
Damn.
my own cousin.
I'm just kidding.
No, man. I wear medium shirts. They're not large, but like just because of my shoulders, and I used to work out my chest. You know what I'm saying? Like it just drops, and you see a little bulge, a little dad gut or whatever. But like.
Dad bod.
Dad bod, dude, I'm hot nowadays, baby. Shit, I'm wanted.
Right?
But like if I take off my shirt, I'm fat. Like there's no denying it, dog. Like I'm fat. My nipples point sideways. Like, come on, dog. Like it's time to lose weight, Nelson. God damn it. You know what
I like that.
Real shit. They're like diagonally, like lazy-eyed and shit.
Oh shit.
So I mean, but listen. I've come to terms with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I know I'm fat and I'm gonna do something about it. But if I consciously am like, nah, there's nothing wrong with me. No, this is beautiful or whatever. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna let it go. Like I'm not even gonna maintain with that thought process. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just going to spiral out of control because you're not acknowledging that there's a problem.
Yep.
And again, you shouldn't be ashamed. It's just acknowledge that it is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I could be a better husband. I could be a better father. That doesn't mean that I'm a bad father. That doesn't mean I'm a bad husband. I shouldn't be ashamed that I'm not the perfect father or the perfect husband. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same concept. You should always strive to be a better person, regardless of what it is. Again, not judging, not lecturing. I'm just trying to help. And speaking of helping, What I have thought I'm going to do, and I'll do another video on it to go further into detail. But what I want to do is I think to myself sometimes, like, we all have a platform, right? Social media is the most amazing thing ever. Sometimes I don't think that we recognize what we can do. We're always looking for other people to do something, right? But I think as a tattoo artist, and you know, there's other tattoo artists that have said the same sentiment, is like, I think we take for granted sometimes our platform. While it's not big, we have a platform at the end of the day. And so then the question becomes, what can I do to help? So what I thought I could do is offer 1% discount for every pound that you lose. So if you lose 10 pounds,
10%.
you get 10% off. You lose 20 pounds, you get 20% off. That's how it works.
What happens if you lose 100 pounds?
And you deserve a free fucking tattoo. I mean, dude, 100 fucking pounds. That is a fucking accomplishment. The least I could do is give you a fucking free tattoo.
That's
Fucking
fair.
100 pounds. Dude, 100 pounds?
That's amazing.
Dog, that's like, you just changed your life.
Yes.
Like, real shit. If you lose 50 pounds, you have astronomically changed your life. 100 pounds, forget about it, dude. You're going places you haven't gone before.
Yes.
You have a confidence about you. Like, you're going to live longer. You breathe better. You sleep better. And you know, it's just one of those things, man. So, I mean, look, if you could lose 100 pounds, I'll tattoo you for free. Straight the fuck up.
But it all starts with that first pound.
That's all it takes, man. 1 pound. So let me know, man. Comment on this video if you want to join in, or hit me up on Instagram, DM me. Hit me up if you got my number. Just get in contact with me, man. Let me know, you know, if you're interested. And we'll get the ball rolling. If there's ever a good time to lose weight, it's now. To bring it full circle to this conversation. You know, it's projected that in November we might get another emergence of COVID, maybe.
Well, to be fair, we're not out of the first emergence.
Right.
So, but what he's speaking about is the flu season is upon us. So there's a concern for the twin-demic, which a lot of doctors are concerned that the flu also has a similar symptoms as COVID, and they could, if you're sick with one, you're more susceptible to the other, and it could create this force that could keep people sick for a very long time or possibly kill them, because the flu is also just as bad. It's
Right.
just that we have something to combat it. So also, shameless plug, get your flu shot.
Yeah,
It's
real
free.
shit.
It's free.
I've never gotten one, but I'm getting one this year for that
Yes.
same reason, dude.
Proving
Yeah.
a point is not worth your life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, fuck politics, man.
And I will say, as a shameless plug as well for a pediatrician, when you get healthy, your children can get healthy. Children, you think that they don't notice and that they have time, and you know, it's a child's right to eat sweets and eat unhealthy because this is their time. But actually, this is their time to learn from you how to not get to that point where it's so difficult for them to lose weight when they're an adult.
Yeah.
So when you help yourself, you help your baby. And I know we all love our babies.
We're just trying to help people
Yeah.
do our part, man. Well, thank you for coming. It's been awesome.
Thank you for having me.
It's been another episode of INKorrect. And I just realized that I have been blocked this whole time by this jug of water.
Damn.
Holy, you know what? But it conveniently hides my gut.
See how the Lord works?
the,
Mysterious ways.
the Lord works in mysterious ways. Awesome. Well, again, thank you for coming. And hit me up, guys, man. I would be more than excited if there was a lot of participation. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. And that's it. Thank you.
Bye.
Boom!